How to create a drought-tolerant gravel border. A gravel border makes a beautiful informal space. Because there are often no clear divides between the garden pathways and planting, it is easy to get up close to what is growing. This style of gardening is absolutely ideal for dry regions that receive minimal rainfall, as the plants used do not need lots of moisture to thrive. Read our Beyond the Garden Gates article on how to create a drought-tolerant gravel border. How to create a drought-tolerant gravel border. When considering a gravel border, it is worth remembering that these conditions for a dry garden are not just made by living in a mainly dry area or having free draining soil. The walls of your home, or the garden fence or garden wall, can produce a rain shadow, in other words, a dry area where rain does not fall. Gravel gardens are suitable for virtually any size of space you have, and they work especially well in especially small areas, particularly if you are thinking about replacing an area of grassed lawn. You can even turn a smaller garden into a completely gravel garden. The gravel mulch around your plants looks attractive and means you do not need to plant them so squashed together. The overall look, therefore, has a much looser feel, as you might often find in nature. Gravel also helps to make this kind of scheme quite low maintenance, as it's harder for weeds to germinate beneath a thick layer of stones. Creating a gravel border. Step 1. Lay out the plants on the prepared ground to see which planting combinations work best. Think about creating a contrast between different leaf shapes and textures as well as flower colors and shapes. You also need to consider how big your plants are going to grow. Do not be afraid to bring some bigger plants to the front of your planting scheme, perhaps close to where you will walk. Creating a gravel border. Step 2. Using a garden spade, or hand trowel, dig a good-sized hole that will be big enough for your plant. If you aren't sure whether the hole is wide or deep enough, pop the plant into the hole to double-check. The right size hole should have enough space for you to backfill a good amount of soil around the roots. Creating a gravel border. Step 3. When you are happy with the hole, tap the plant out of its pot, tease the roots apart a little if needed, and pop it into the ground. Make sure the top of the plant's root ball sits level with the ground in your border. Creating a gravel border. Step 4. Backfill the hole with your soil and gravel mixture, firming around the plant so that the soil is in contact with the roots, and water. It's a good idea to wait for one flush of weeds to grow and pull them up, before top dressing with 30 to 40 centimeters gravel.